when Tu Tien's father knew that CEO Toan was Jack's love rival. Everything seemed to be going smoothly, but one day, a secret suddenly exposed. CEO Toan is the person who always cares about Tu Tien, is actually Jack's love rival. This news reached Tu Tien's father's hand. Father of the Immortals. Through a chance conversation between him and Loy's mother. Surprise from conversation with Loy's mother. That day, Tu Tien's father and Mrs. Loy sat drinking tea in the garden. Chat about life of two children. Mrs. Loy smiled and said happily, Tu Tien had many suitors before, especially Toan, a very talented guy. But unfortunately, Jack was quicker. Father Tu Tien paused for a moment. Who is he? Mrs. Loy was surprised. You do not know. Toan is the CEO of a large corporation. Had special feelings for Tu Tien. He used to compete directly with Jack to win her heart. At that moment, the village chief's face became solemn. She means the boy used to be Jack's love rival. Mrs. Loy laughed. That's all in the past. Now that Jack and Tu Tien are married, there's nothing to worry about anymore. But Father Tu Tien did not think so. He could not believe that. My daughter was once between two powerful men, and that one of them might still have feelings for her. The fateful meeting between Tu Tien's father and CEO Toan cannot hold it any longer. The next day, Tu Tien's father took the initiative to meet CEO Toan at a quiet cafe. Toan could not hide his surprise when receiving an invitation from Father Tu Tien. When two men sit across from each other, the atmosphere became tense. Father Tu Tien looked straight into Toan's eyes and his voice dropped. I heard it all. You used to have the intention of pursuing my daughter. Toan was a bit stunned, but he quickly regained his composure. He put the cup of coffee on the table and nodded. Yes, it's true that I had feelings for Tu Tien before. But now she has a family. I don't interfere anymore. Father Tu Tien narrowed his eyes. Really? Why don't I like lies? The whole smile at his eyes a bit cold. Do you think I still have feelings for Tu Tien? Father Tu Tien did not answer immediately. He looked straight at Toan, as if to see through his thoughts. He is smart, talented, and has status. So why didn't you do it in the past? Can win her heart? Toan clenched his hands into fists. I remember the time when he was always there to care for Tu Tien. But her heart was only for Jack. Because Tu Tien loves Jack. Toan said slowly, but his eyes flashed with regret. Father Tu Tien saw regret in everyone's eyes. He lowered his voice, but his words carried weight. You are smart, but there is one thing you need to remember. My daughter chose Jack. If you really respect her, then give up the idea completely. Take it. Toan was silent for a few seconds, then smiled softly. Don't worry, I'm not a saboteur. There are just things that reason can understand. But the heart still cannot let go immediately. Father Tu Tien put the teacup on the table. His eyes became harder. If you still intend to affect your daughter's life, Jack and I, no matter what corporation you are the CEO of, I do not leave it alone. Toan curled his lips and smiled faintly, eyes sharp like a wounded wolf. You don't need to threaten me. I never intended to ruin Tu Tien's happiness. But one day, if Jack hurts her, I will be the first to appear. Secret confrontation between two men. After a tense conversation with Toan, Father Tu Tien came home and told Jack everything. Jack was not surprised to hear about this meeting. I know. Toan never really gave up his feelings for Tu Tien. But Jack was not afraid. He looked straight into his father-in-law's eyes and smiled confidently. Dad, don't worry. I know what kind of person you are. But most importantly is to have confidence in loving your child. Father Tu Tien pondered for a moment, then nodded. I just want to make sure she won't get hurt. Very gently put his hand on his father-in-law's shoulder. His eyes were determined. I promise. I will never let Tu Tien regret choosing me. Warning for Toan. A few days later, Jack took the initiative to meet Toan. When both sat opposite each other, no one said anything for the first few seconds. Then Jack said slowly, Toan, I know you still have feelings for Tu Tien. Toan did not deny it, he just smiled faintly. So what? Jack stared at him, his voice dropped. You can keep that feeling in your heart, but never think about getting between me and you. Toan narrowed his eyes and crossed his arms in front of his chest. Were he afraid? Jack smiled slightly. No, because I know Tu Tien only loves me. Jack's words were like a sharp knife. Stabbed straight to the heart. But he wasn't angry, just took a deep breath and stood up. Then I will stand outside. But Jack, if one day you hurt her, I will not sit still. Jack also stood up. His eyes were cold. That will never happen. Two men looked at each other, neither giving in. But no one goes beyond the limit. This is no longer a war. When the heart of Tu Tien again, but a hidden warning between the powerful opponents. And from that day, Toan quietly withdrew, but still followed the life of the immortal from afar. The undercurrent has not yet subsided. After the confrontation between Jack and Toan, everything seemed to have calmed down. Jack continues to devote himself to taking care of his family. Toan kept his promise. He did not appear before Tu Tien anymore. But that doesn't mean he forgot his feelings. The heart of a love that never ends, despite appearing calm on the outside. But every time I see Jack's picture and Tu Tien together, the heart still aches. A late night sitting alone in a luxury apartment, glass of wine in hand. His eyes were empty as he looked out at the city through the glass window. She could have been mine, he muttered, his hand tightening around the glass of wine. Outside, the world is still bustling as if nothing had happened. But in Toan's heart, everything is an endless void. Jack, you are a lucky man. He laughed bitterly, but then he shook his head and said to himself, love cannot be forced. If she is happy, I will not break that. Jack and Tu Tien peaceful days. To Jack, after the tensions, I was completely reassured. When he saw that Toan was no longer present beside Tu Tien, their little family continued to enjoy their days. Little Hal's happiness is growing. Smart and clever is the joy of the whole family. Every evening, Jack spends time with his wife and children. When he saw Tu Tien sleeping, his eyes were infinitely gentle. Immortal. Jack came closer and hugged her from behind. Thank you for choosing me. Tu Tien laughed and turned to look at her husband. You are so stupid. If I don't choose you, then who else will I choose? Jack leaned down and placed a kiss on his wife's forehead. I know this life no matter how many storms. As long as I have Tu Tien by my side, I will always be strong. But is it really over? Although Toan promised to withdraw. But he is still an ambitious businessman. One day in a large corporation study, Toan received an attractive offer. Co-invest in a project related to Jack's company. When seeing the profile on Tay, the corners of his lips slightly raised. We have another chance to face each other, Jack. So even though there is no more fighting for love, but the competition between Jack and Toan continue on the market, who will win this time? Or in the marketplace? After months of focusing on family, surely no one expected that a rival was returning. Not to win the heart of Tu Tien, but to compete with you in the marketplace. That day when Jack was in the office working, the secretary came in with a stack of documents. CEO Jack, here is the profile of the upcoming project. But there is one important piece of information you need to know. Jack looked up and frowned. What information? The secretary took a deep breath and said, CEO Toan's prosperous group also participated in bidding for this project. Jack was surprised. Once again appeared in his life, but this time on the business battlefield. He flipped through the documents, sharp eyes when seeing Toan's company name. What will be will be. Jack smiled faintly, despite being mentally prepared. But Jack knew this time it wouldn't be easy. The battle begins. This project is a financial complex, commercial combination, a project that brings huge profits. Jack's company and Toan Group have enough potential to compete. The official bidding took place. When Jack entered the hall, he immediately recognized Toan. Kia Man also looked at him. The corners of the lips turned up confidently. They sat across from each other without saying a word. But the atmosphere between the two was like an underground war. When the presentation of the whole is over, the whole hall resounded with applause. Jack remained calm and unmoved. When it was his turn, he confidently stepped forward. His eyes were fixed on Toan. Before starting your presentation, tensions escalate. After the bidding, both steps out of the classroom. Toan curled his lips. Long time no see. Unexpectedly this time, we compete with each other in this way. Jack shrugged. Before it was because of Tu Tien, now it's because of work. But the result will be the same, you will lose. Toan burst out laughing. You are so confident, let's see who wins. Both knew this was more than just a project, but also a battle of honor between two men. But what Jack didn't expect was, Toan doesn't just want to win fairly, but he has another plan. Toan's dangerous move. After the auction, Jack returns to the company and gets started preparing for the next phase. He believes he has the advantage, thanks to sustainable investment plan and strong relationships in the financial industry. But Toan is not an easy opponent.